Good evening and welcome to Collector Cars. I'm Lance, your host. With me in the studio, how you doing, dear?
I'm great, thanks.
We have Nancy Giovanetti, Steve Giovanetti of Giovanetti and Sons Automotive, and our photographer, videographer, and wannabe host, Bill Merkin.
And I just have one thing to say about that.
What?
Good evening and welcome to Collector Cars. I'm Bill, your host.
Well, I got myself in hot water with this, folks, because last week on the TV show, when I was talking about Super Cruise, I said, well, the pedal car races are down the toilet. Bill wasn't here. He had a meeting. And Mark Petty says, oh, well, Bill wins by default. I went, oh, no, because that was no default of mine. So he says, well, we'll have to figure something out. Well, while we're at having a little libation after the show, it was brought up that we could get two of those three-wheel granny bikes, you know, that they have. And Bill and I would do our race anyway.
You know, I got a pit
That's a
crew
scary thought.
already. I got a pit crew for this race.
You've got a pit crew.
Do you think you could tune it before?
Sure.
Hey,
All right.
hey,
Not a problem.
Hey, what are you jumping in over here for? I need a pit crew.
Oh,
I'm
he's
here.
not the pit crew. He's my mechanic.
Give you my grandson.
With the go-kart.
With the go-kart. Well, I'll tell you, we had a ball out at your place. Giovanetti and Sons did the car show. It was back on, when did we do the show, Steve?
31st.
The
January.
31st. It was a tough decision because it was the day that Devereaux was going on. But we talked about it. We said, you know, there are local guys who aren't going to go out of town. They're not going to drive all the way to Sarasota. So let's have a place for them to go. When we got out there, we cooked up hot dogs and stuff. We did have drinks after the few hours after we started, from Steve freezing.
I wanted to make sure they were cold.
Yeah, so he stuck them in a freezer overnight.
Ah.
Frozen Pepsi.
They were good and cold, though.
Frozen, yes, everything was good and cold.
more like
There was no
slushies.
complaints. They were more like slushies. But here was the big thing. Billy, if you'll come in on this for a minute. Here's the thing that I really want to keep going with you guys. The homemade trophies. Now, is that gorgeous? You're talking pistons and gears and all kinds of stuff in there. You've got stuff welded together. You've got stuff meshed together. That people love those. The car guys, the plastic column trophies, they've got a rack full. And the plaques and the pewters. I'm running out of ideas. I really am. So something like this is just incredible.
We had a lot of people compliment.
Yes, yes. And basically, this is something that we're talking now about doing something down at your place on a once-a-month type thing. Get the folks together. Now, your shop, how long are you guys in business?
10 years.
Now, I say you guys because you're always together. You're always in the shop. You know, it's basically a husband and wife shop. True?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mom and pop shop.
There you go. There you go. Now, how many years?
10 years here.
10 years.
In Florida.
In Florida. And how long at that particular location?
9 years there.
9 years there, because
Yeah.
you've got a nice big shop. I could hurt myself big time
Definitely.
with the stuff you've got there.
That's because you like the power tools.
Yeah.
We don't allow you
Yeah.
to play with those.
I still got a hole in my thumb from putting that shed together. But I'll tell you, one of the things that I want to do is naturally edify all our sponsors. You guys have been sponsoring me, and I want to thank you guys for that, because it's, especially today, it's tough to keep the shows going. And now that we've had crappy weather for almost 3 months, it's even harder. So we really do appreciate that. That's why we want to try to let the people know where you are, what you do. Now, do you specialize in Corvettes? I know you got a Corvette on the car.
We specialize in Corvettes. Anything from the old 55, 56, all the way up to the new 2009s.
Okay.
I've got all the computer equipment and diagnostic equipment to check them all.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
I'm a master technician for General Motors.
Okay.
And we also, though, we do street rods and performance work.
And you actually build them. You built
Yes.
that 34.
Yes, the 34 we
the one that
built.
you're selling.
the one
Which
that we're
incidentally
selling.
is going to be in the commercial for Doug Fuller for the auction that's coming up soon.
Yes.
We just did the audio track for that, and your car's in it. Now it goes by fast because I put 40 cars in 30 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it looks good, and the car is. I've had a lot of compliments. People telling me that they like
We've had a lot.
that they like the car. So hopefully we'll see what happens at the auction for you.
Yeah, I hope it
But
goes
you do
good.
everything from. I mean, you'll put them together and so forth. You don't do body work there.
The only thing I don't do is body and paint work.
It's
We
body
do
and paint.
full electrical, chassis suspension.
Okay.
I do fabrication work. Okay. Brakes,
everything.
tires, custom
AC
wheels.
work?
AC work.
Okay, cool.
We'll even install complete AC systems. I'm a dealer for Vintage Air. Okay, so we can install complete
And
systems.
you just took on. You're now a dealer for
Cruising coolers.
Cruising Coolers.
This is a new little adventure. We'll see
Sort of
how
like
this
sitting on
goes.
your lunch.
True.
You're going to need one of those.
I'm going to need one of those.
Yeah.
But it's still cold.
Yeah. I love it. But yeah, that's pretty cool because those are neat things to have. And
Just
Go ahead.
something else too. I know Steve loves just to talk about the performance cars, but we do work on everyday drivers.
daily drivers.
Yes.
Daily drivers. A lot of people shied away for a little while, and we started to wonder why. They'd bring their performance cars in and then leave their everyday drivers at home, or they would be down the street saying, "Oh, well, I'm getting brakes in my car." Well, why aren't you here?
Right.
They didn't realize that we do any vehicle that comes through the door.
And the way times are today, you have
You
to
have
do
to.
everything. You really
have
can't
to.
specialize in just a particular type of car or particular field
Correct.
unless it's a specialty field
Right.
like interior work or something like that. It requires
Especially if it's a
or
rebuild
paint.
on something, that's going
Right.
to take a few months.
We also honor all aftermarket warranties.
Oh, cool.
Like if you buy, a car from a dealership that's a used vehicle, you don't get, say, a GM or a Chrysler warranty. They'll sell you a warranty policy from an outside source. Well, we accept those warranties. So whatever your coverages, say you've got a $50 deductible, well, that's what you wind up paying us, just
you
like
pay.
if you did if you went back to where you bought the vehicle.
Do you know how to fix Toyotas?
Toyotas? Yeah. I see they're only sticking a little piece of metal behind the gas pedal.
You can do that.
Yeah, that's an easy fix.
Oh, you're making friends with the sponsors real quick there, Bill. But that's fantastic. And I'll tell you something else I noticed. You're one of the few, actually the only, that I know of now, that is selling that street rod, your 34, with a warranty.
Yes. We stand behind all our work. Whether it's, some
I
guys...
stand as far behind my work as I can because
You
you never
need
know.
Some places, they'll give you a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty on your repairs. A lot of places will only give you 60 or 90 days on electrical, okay? Say alternators, starters, things like that.
Right.
I stand behind it 12 months, 12,000. I've had customers come in 18 months ago that I put an alternator in. They went bad. There's no charge.
That makes a difference. That's why you're in business 10 years. I see people open and close and open and close. Sponsors that I've had over the years that open and closed.
Well, I was in business in New York for 15,
Yeah. Before
and
you
then I
came
moved
here.
down here.
Good deal.
So,
All right. We ready to show them some cars? Mr. Terry Lewis sent us some footage. Now, there it is. Check out that
Oh,
hatchback
look at that
Chevelle.
car. I love that car. Oh,
It's the 17th annual Hot Times Car Show in Colorado. We start out with a gorgeous 1951 Chevy 3100 Joe Johnson. That's a pretty truck.
that is good colors. And it's a fabulous show. I mean, it's they draw several hundred. I think it was up 400 or 500 this year.
Really?
Yeah, and they have a raffle car every year that they do. It's a big time show up in the Denver area.
Little straight six in that. Very clean.